When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk, people. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art.
Good evening. It is 1:34 in Kingston City, Jamaica, as Jamaicans wait for the verdict on the fate of dancehall artist Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Cartel. We'll be bringing it to you live. We'll be speaking, hopefully, to his lawyer. Hopefully we can get to speak to him. He spoke to me earlier on. And also this evening, on Context Matters, opposition leader Mark Golding will be Isaac Buchanan guest this evening. So you can go on over Isaac Buchanan YouTube channel this evening. Opposition leader will be his special guest. But in the meantime, until we get up to what is going to be one of the most momentous afternoon on the Make We Talk program in history, Jamaicans are waiting the verdict of VYBZ Cartel, while Americans are waiting the verdict of Donald Trump. It is also said in a breaking news that Matthew Samuda, Minister of Water, admitted on RJR that he was born in London, England, and he's also a dual citizen of both Jamaica and London, England. So they create a can of worms, you know. They start a can of worms. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Please, I'm asking you all to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. We're going to play some videos leading up to the occasion where hopefully, well, not hopefully, where we're going to know the fate of Adidja Palmer. What we know so far, that downtown Kingston has been cordoned off with members of the JDF and the JCF. There you have it. We're seeing videos from downtown Kingston. Of course, from the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston, where members of the JDF and the JCF of the squad is down there. I was told also that the JDF helicopters were in the air earlier on. We don't know what's going on down there now because it's not like people down there now. But based on what is going on so far, what we know, that members of the JCF and members of the JDF are on high alert. On high alert in downtown Kingston. We have different angles of getting the
Well, in Kingston today, the Supreme Court will rule on...
Hold on, we're going to give a little item of news out of CVM, where they're going to speak about what is going on. Listen to this.
Well, in Kingston today, the Supreme Court will rule on VYBZ Kartel's habeas corpus application, potentially impacting his detention status ahead of a pending retrial for murder. Our reporter, Ramon Gordon, is on location ahead of the 2 o'clock ruling.
There's increased police presence here at the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston, where a judge is set to rule on VYBZ Kartel's habeas corpus application. Now, habeas corpus is a legal concept that ensures people can't be held in jail without good reason. It gives individuals the right to challenge their detention in court. Cartel-born Adidja Palmer and his co-accused Shawn Storm Campbell, Kahira Jones and Andre St. John were convicted in 2014 for the 2011 murder of Clive Lizard Williams. However, their convictions were quashed in March by the Privy Council due to juror misconduct, and the case was sent back to the Court of Appeal to decide on a retrial. The habeas corpus application, argued by attorney Isaac Buchanan, asserts that there is no legal basis for the continued detention of Palmer, Campbell, and St. John, as the Privy Council did not order their release or address the issue of detention. Buchanan argued that without an order from the higher courts, the men should be released. Well, we'll find out the outcome of those arguments later today. Ramon Gordon on location at the Supreme Court.
Thank you, Ramon. And before the end of our newscast, we will want to hear from an attorney more on that.
There you have it. That is everybody. Every news organization in Jamaica is gearing up for what will be a momentous occasion for Jamaicans who love to listen to VYBZ Kartel songs. And of course, it will be a momentous occasion for his attorney, our good friend Isaac Buchanan. We're hopeful to get some words from Isaac this afternoon, but as we said, we're waiting for the verdict. Whether it's going to be live on air from downtown Kingston, we're trying to figure that out, or we're going to get it from another news organization, we don't know, but we don't have any live feed coming out of Kingston. We're working on something to get a live feed coming out of Kingston, but in case we do not, we'll still bring it to you live. We're going to speak to Isaac Buchanan. We're also going to speak to Attorney at Law, Isaac Buchanan, Attorney at Law, Wilfred Radigan, for them to give us their opinion, especially Isaac, his take on what is going to happen. But Jamaicans from all walks of life, both overseas, in the diaspora, and Jamaicans at home in Jamaica, are waiting the verdict of well-known dancehall artist VYBZ Kartel. Adidja Palmer, given name Adidja Palmer, stage name VYBZ Kartel. We're going to see if we can get comment from also Spice. We're working on that to get some comment from Spice as soon as the verdict is handed down. We're working very hard to get a comment from dancehall artist Spice to see, her take on it. So this is how we're waiting. We're still waiting. It's now 2:41. 1:41 in Jamaica, 2:41 in the United States. We're listening and watching from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean. This is Make We Talk. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. We're waiting the verdict of dancehall artist Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Kartel. We're waiting to hear what's going to happen in downtown Kingston this afternoon. Will he go free? We all know that come June 1st, there will be a case hearing in June 1st for the accused men. There will be a hearing for them. So what we're here waiting on now is to hopefully see if he will go free. Will the judge in the case let VYBZ Kartel to out on bail until his case is called up? A lot of people are saying on social media, free World Boss. Time for World Boss to be free. Well, let us see. Jamaicans from all walks of life, I said before, is working, listening to all various media houses who can bring it to them, or saying to themselves, yes, when the case was handed down from the Privy Council in London, Jamaicans were elated. Jamaicans were saying, yes, it is good. Let us see if the courts in Jamaica, let's see if the courts in Jamaica will do what the Supreme Court in London did. Watching from Ghana, welcome to Ghana. Welcome to people, as I always said, we're very listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. Welcome to the Make We Talk program, the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Ghana, I hope you're liking and sharing and subscribing to the YouTube channel. I love to see my friends and family over there in Ghana. I must say good afternoon or good night to my friend over there in South Africa, Ambassador Andy Mashiley, who is over there in South Africa. I know he's watching us right now. Watching from Kenya. Kenya, good afternoon to you, Kenya. Watching from Georgia. Good afternoon to all of you. Good morning, wherever you are. Watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. We're waiting the fate of a well-known dancehall artist, VYBZ Kartel. We're waiting his fate from the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston. Jamaicans are saying, free world boss. Yes. Remember to like, share, and subscribe as we await the verdict of well-known dancehall artist Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Kartel. I want you all to know also, in so much news going on, that Matthew Samuda, Minister of Water, has admitted on a radio station in Jamaica that he is a British citizen. Watching from the Cayman Islands, my other home. Good afternoon to the Cayman Islands. Good afternoon to Dr. Steve Tomlinson, Dr. Sidney Banks, the Tomlinson's family, Banks family. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to former Premier Makiva Bush and all those who are watching us from the Cayman Islands. Share this live feed. Share this live feed to everyone. Share this live feed to everyone. This is a momentous occasion right here in Kingston City, Jamaica, as we wait the fate of well-known dancehall artist Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Kartel. We're waiting the verdict to hear what is going to happen. Will Mr. Kartel be given bail by the Supreme Court of downtown Kingston? We're still waiting to hear what's going to happen. We're also going to see if we can get a comment from his attorney, Mr. Isaac Buchanan, who will be giving us hopefully his take on that. One moment for me, please. I'm here getting some stuff in my ears here, on my phone here. Yes, we're still waiting to hear what is going to happen. But in the meantime, I know downtown Kingston is calling off with members of the security forces, members of the JDF, and members of the JCF, along with the JDF Air Wing, is securing downtown Kingston across from the Supreme Court. I don't know if they expect any violence or any eruption or any demonstration or what. We don't know. But this is what we're getting out of downtown Kingston. See the squad and the J Army tanks are downtown Kingston right now as we speak. So they are awaiting to see. I am pretty much sure, I wish I could get a live feed from downtown Kingston. I'm pretty much sure people are out in their numbers in downtown Kingston right now. We're waiting to see if we can get something from downtown Kingston to see what is going on right now. But as we speak, it is now 1:41 in Kingston, Jamaica. The court is in session. Mr. Adidja Palmer is in court right now, along with his lawyers and his co-accused. They're all in court right now, and the judge will hand down the verdict at 2 o'clock. We're going to hear if the gentlemen are out on bail. We know that come June 1st, there's supposed to be a court hearing on June 1st. So hopefully we'll hear more. But we're also going to have a news clipping from a television station in Jamaica at what happened in downtown Kingston this morning. We're going to have this court hearing right now to hear what is going on. Yes.
Well, in Kingston today, the Supreme Court will rule on VYBZ Kartel's habeas corpus application, potentially impacting his detention status ahead of a pending retrial for murder. Our reporter, Ramon Gordon, is on location ahead of the 2 o'clock ruling.
There's increased police presence here at the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston, where a judge is set to rule on VYBZ Kartel'S habeas corpus application. Now, habeas corpus is a legal concept that ensures people can't be held in jail without good reason. It gives individuals the right to challenge their detention in court. Cartel-born Adidja Palmer and his co-accused Shawn Storm Campbell, Kahira Jones and Andre St. John were convicted in 2014 for the 2011 murder of Clive Lizard Williams. However, their convictions were quashed in March by the Privy Council due to juror misconduct, and the case was sent back to the Court of Appeal to decide on a retrial. The habeas corpus application, argued by attorney Isaac Buchanan, asserts that there is no legal basis for the continued detention of Palmer, Campbell, and St. John, as the Privy Council did not order their release or address the issue of detention. Buchanan argued that without an order from the higher courts, the men should be released. Well, we'll find out the outcome of those arguments later today. Ramon Gordon on.
Yes, we're waiting on the outcome of those arguments at 2 o'clock. We're going to hear what's happening at the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston. Share up this live feed. It's a momentous occasion here on the Make We Talk program, as we're going to have bowl-by-bowl coverage of the VYBZ Kartel case. Should he, or would he, not should he, I'm pretty much sure he needs to go free. Will he go free today? Will we have pandemonium on the streets of downtown Kingston with Jamaicans jumping up for joy to see one of Jamaica's well-beloved artists of all time? One of Jamaica's well-beloved artists of all time. Will he go free? Will he go free today? We're waiting on what the judge is going to say. It is now 1:50, 2:50 here in the United States. We're listening and watching from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean, Ghana, South Africa, Mozambique, Zimbabwe. Wherever you're watching and listening from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean, this is the Make We Talk program right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Ghana, Grenada, Guyana, Belize, Barbados. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the program. One moment for me, please. Good afternoon. You're live on air. Hello? Yes, sir. You're live on air. How can I help?
Good day to you. How you doing, my brother?
I am doing good. You're live on your. Go ahead. We're talking about the VYBZ Kartel case.
Come on, man. Don't expect some kind of riot war or something going on where all these security forces armed and ready like they're going to a war.
I don't know.
Something supposed to happen?
I don't really think so. I don't think they're expecting a war. I think they're just securing the place.
Well, man, this tell me something, you know.
Well,
They can't in the lines. They got the man locked up from when? They didn't release him after the British people say he's okay to go. So I think they're trying to keep him in.
no, the British people did not say he needs to go. What the British people did, what the Privy Council in London did, was to send back the case to Jamaica. They did not rule and say he must come out. So don't say that, please.
But tell me, can they try again for the same crime?
Well, that's another thing again.
Can they try somebody twice for the same thing? That's what I want to know. Now, what would they be trying again for? Why keeping the man locked up? The man is sick. The man needs attention, medical attention, and everything.
Yes.
To me, I've got the police side, but I don't think they're gonna let him out. That's why you have all these military and police and all this bang there.
Yes.
And one of the Bumba B or the Bumba Ball, he would be out long time. We probably have to keep our case.
Well.
Like the Minister of Education and all of them, and the man when man dead in our house. None of them go to court and any trial anything.
Well, it all depends. I don't know. Let us see.
Well, if you drop in the well, you probably don't come back out.
Let us all see, sir.
So that's what they're doing to the poor guy right now. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I'm out.
Thank you very much. There you go. Thank you. We are going to see if we can get a live feed. I don't know if they're doing a live feed from the Supreme Court. I know at one point, somebody did say something to me about there's going to be a live feed from the Supreme Court. I am not sure about that. I wasn't aware of that. So let me figure out something here. Bear with me, please. Bear with me, please. Bear with me, please. We are trying to figure out something here. Let us see if something's going to happen. We don't know. Supreme Court of Jamaica. But actually, we're not seeing anything here. It's me alone here. Let me send a WhatsApp message to somebody who I know who may be in the know-how of what is going on. So let me figure out something here. Bear with us, please, as we are bringing to you live coverage of the cartel case. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe to the Mekwita Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. We are waiting to hear what the judge has to say in the VYBZ cartel case. It is now 2:55, 5 minutes before 3 o'clock, 5 minutes before 2 o'clock in Kingston, Jamaica. We're listening and watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. Much love from West Africa. It is the Mekwita program. We're still waiting to hear what is going on in the case with Mr. Adidja Palmer. Yes, we're still waiting to see what is going to happen with the case of Mr. Adidja Palmer. I'm going to get a feed from somewhere else to see if that is going to happen. The court going to start at 2 o'clock Jamaica time. Thank you very much. At 2 o'clock Jamaica time. Hey, JamaicaTV.com. How are you doing, my friend? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wherever you're listening and watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean, this is the Mekwita program. We have 497 people on Twitter. Thank you all very much for coming on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're waiting the verdict of one of Jamaica's well-renowned artists of all time. One of Jamaica's well-renowned singer. The Jamaican women, they love him. Women from all over the globe love him. Watching in from New Jersey. Good afternoon to you, New Jersey. We're waiting to hear the verdict of well-known dancehall artist VYBZ Kartel. We're also going to have a comment from his attorney at law, Mr. Isaac Buchanan. We're also going to have a comment from well-renowned, one of our good friend and attorney at law, Mr. Wilfred Radigan. Hopefully we can get a comment from Mr. Radigan, but we're going to get a comment from his attorney at law, Mr. Isaac Buchanan. And also remember to watch Context Matters this afternoon on Isaac Buchanan YouTube channel. He will be interviewing opposition leader Mark Golding. Good afternoon to Dubai. My God, we have so much people coming on the program this afternoon. Thank you all very much for coming on. Thank you all very much for coming on. Let us see what's going on here. We're still waiting to see if we're going to have a live feed coming into us from the Supreme Court. It's going to start at 2 o'clock, I was told. It is now 157, 257 here in the United States. Jamaicans from all walks of life, radio stations and television stations from all walks of life are gearing up to hear the verdict of one of Jamaica's well-known artists of all time, VYBZ Kartel. So let us wait and see. Let us see what's going to happen. We're still waiting to see if Mr. Kartel will go free. Of course, you know that they have this justice bail hearing here. Good afternoon to Kenya. All our friends from Kenya, good afternoon. So many people are watching us all the way around the world, all the way from Kenya. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Just don't come on the channel and don't subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. I was told that there is TV stations and radio stations picking me up from around the globe. I don't know if it's true, but as I was told, and they're watching us and listening to us to hear the verdict themselves. So please, 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 please bear with us as we try to get everything up and going here to hear what is going to happen. One of Jamaica's well-known artists of all time. Jamaicans are saying free world boss. People from all over the world is saying free the world boss. And we're saying to ourselves also to free him. It's time for him to get out of there. Get out of there, because Kartel need to be free. Well, who is me to say? We'll all see what's going to happen. Bear with us as we're getting some news in to you all. It is now a minute before 2 o'clock, a minute before 3 o'clock here in Jamaica. Here in the United States, rather. It's a minute before 2 o'clock in Jamaica. It's a minute before 3 o'clock here in the United States. Let me go back to something here. Okay, let us stay on that one here. And we're gonna see what's gonna happen from downtown Kingston, the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston. I don't know if we're gonna get any feed from in the court. You know, the courts in Jamaica, not the courts in the United States and around the world. We don't know. We're checking every outlet that we know they should come on, and we're not seeing anything at all. The Supreme Court of Kings of Jamaica, nothing is coming up on their any of their portal, any of their channels that we think they would come up on. But we're still streaming our own here. We're still waiting to hear what the verdict will be. So please bear with us. Bear as we stand by to get what is going to be a momentous occasion of one of Jamaica's finest singer of all time. He's well beloved. He's second in command of, people would say, the next Bob Marley of Jamaica. We're still waiting to see. It is now a minute after 2 o'clock, a minute after 3 o'clock. Wherever you are watching and listening from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean, we're going to play some more video to tell you all that downtown Kingston, it is cordoned off with members of the JDF, members of the JCF, security personnel. I was just told that security personnel from various security companies also is downtown Kingston. I'm wondering if did they plan to hear of some violence going on? I don't think so. But anyway, they're taking no hold on for me. Hold on. Radio stations in Jamaica, well-known radio station nationwide. Hold on for me, please.
Council remitted the matter to the Court of Appeal to determine whether a retrial should be had. So, Mr. Palmer has been incarcerated since he was found guilty. His attorney has made a habeas corpus application to have him set free until the Court of Appeal determines the outcome as to whether there should be a retrial. Our reporter, Robian Williams, is downtown Kingston. She joins us now live. Good afternoon, Roby.
Hi, good afternoon, Ricardo. Good afternoon to our viewers or listeners.
Give us a sense of what you're seeing in the precincts of the Supreme Court.
At this point in time, I'm outside the courtroom, courtroom number 9, and the courtroom is basically full to capacity at this point in time. On the outside of the courthouse, we have the area cordoned off. Members of the security forces cordoned off the area from as early as 9:30 thereabout this morning, and we are now awaiting the judge to take her seat.
Who is the judge who is presiding?
I believe her name is slipping me at this moment.
Okay.
Let me see. It's slipping me at this moment.
Andrea Thomas, Justice Andrea Thomas.
Yes.
And is Mr. Palmer or any of the gentlemen who are the subject of this hearing, are they present in court?
Not at this time.
They are
I'm
not there.
Seeing them, I was told that they're not expected to be here, but based on the heightened security presence, we were told this morning that it's based on for security, for precautionary measures rather, that the security forces are deployed here today.
Mm-hmm. And did you happen to see any of Mr. Palmer's fans in the precincts of the Supreme Court?
No, not as yet.
Okay, so just a heavy security presence.
Heavy security presence, a full capacity courtroom, and we're awaiting the judge.
Okay, and his attorneys are present inside?
Yes, I sat Buchanan out inside just now.
All right, so we allow you to go back inside. You know how to relay the information to us. So, all right, Roby, I'll let you go now.
Definitely. Thank you, Ricardo.
So, listeners, 4 minutes after 2, they have not yet started in the Supreme Court. We're on standby for that decision of Justice Andrea Thomas. She is to determine whether, essentially, Cartel and at least 2 of the gentlemen who were convicted of the murder of Clive Lizard Williams and who had those convictions set aside are to be granted bail, a writ of habeas corpus brought by Isaac Buchanan seeking their release pending the outcome of an appeal in the Court of Appeal, the Court of Appeal is to determine whether there should be a retrial of the gentlemen after the Privy Council set aside those convictions. So we are awaiting the justice to take her seat, and then as soon as we have the information, we will bring it to you live. But the news from downtown Kingston, a packed courtroom, heavy security presence in the precincts of as the country waits to hear whether VYBZ Kartel will be set free pending, and it's important that I keep saying this, pending the outcome of the appeal in the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal is to determine whether there should be a retrial. So we're on Cartel Watch.
There you go. We are on Cartel Watch. Make We Talk is on Cartel Watch. We will bring it to you live because every news organization in Jamaica has to get this. I hope you all are seeing me and hearing me loudly. Are you hearing me? I know sometimes this thing will, freeze up on us. Are you hearing me? Anyone out there, are you hearing me? Let me know. Yes. There you have it. Based on what we're hearing, right now, the court is in session. We're still waiting on the judge to sit down. It is a habeas corpus that the lawyers they put in for him to get bail. Will he go free today? We are going to wait and to see and what's going to happen at the court in downtown Kingston. This is Make We Talk breaking news. Jamaicans from all walks of life and media houses from all walks of life. Media houses as far as Zimbabwe. Media houses as far as Kenya. As far as South Africa. Has joined the Make We Talk program to bring you live coverage of the Five Cartel case. Will he go free today? It is a bail hearing. Will Mr. Cartel be granted bail from the Supreme Court? We're standing by to join the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston to hear what is going to happen. Jamaicans from all walks of life, as I said before, Jamaicans in the diaspora and Jamaicans everywhere else in the world is hoping and praying that we will get to see history unfold here in Jamaica. Once and for all, the justice must happen. Let us see if we can get well-known attorney at law to give us a little impact or a little comment on what is going to happen. Or maybe I should just wait. I hear my producer is saying to me I should just wait and to see what is going to happen. But based on what we're hearing, based on everything that we're getting here, I know there's a little hitch going on with the channel here, but don't go anywhere. Don't move. We are... Yes, sorry. We are waiting to hear what is going to happen. We're waiting to see, will VYBZ Kartel, Adidja Palmer, a.k.a. VYBZ Kartel, the teacher, as he's well known, he's well dubbed as the teacher, will he go free today? Let us see. We're still waiting to hear what is going to happen. As soon as the judge sit down, as soon as the judge grant what she's going to hand it down her verdict, we'll bring it to you live. We're going to go over to a very well-known radio station in Jamaica to get it to you live. But this is what we're having right now, that downtown Kingston, as what the journalist just said, downtown Kingston is filled with a lot of members of the JDF and JCF as they're cordon off the building around, cordon off the streets around the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston. So we're waiting to see what is going to happen. We're waiting to see what's going to happen. Will the teacher, as he's dubbed, walk free? As you know that the Privy Council in London handed down that the case must go back to the Jamaican courts. You all know that also the DPP admitted that she has dealt with tainted jurors. You all know that the DPP admitted that she has dealt with tainted jurors before. So let us see what's going to happen. Let us wait and see what's going to happen. But based on what we're getting and based on what we're hearing, that the Supreme Court is packed to capacity with lawyers and other people. But what they're saying that Kartel and his co-accused are not in the court. They are not in the court building. They are not in there. So as soon as we can get the journalists to come back on air and tell us what is going on, we will bring it to you live. We will bring it to you live. We're just waiting to see what's going to happen here. We'll bring it to you live. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. We're standing by to hear the verdict, the handing down of the verdict of VYBZ Kartel. Yes, we want everyone to know that well-known attorney at law, one of my friend, and I am proud to say he's my friend, Isaac Buchanan, attorney at law Isaac Buchanan, who has taken this case to the Privy Council. And right now they're saying that Jamaicans should stick with the Privy Council to see as Jamaica's final court of appeal. Well, let us see. Let us see. Let us see what's going on here. I don't know what happened here. What's going on? Hold on for me. I think I did something wrong here a while ago. Hold on for me, please. think I did something wrong a while ago. Hold on. Yes. Back up. Remove. Yes, there we go. We're just standing by. I know you're gonna see me freeze in the thing there. Don't worry about it. You still can hear me. Don't worry about my face being big in the picture there. We're still waiting. We're still standing by to join another news organization in Jamaica to get the live feed. Yes, I know that my thing is freezing up because what is going on? I am sharing something else, and I think because a lot of people, I am being told about 3 media houses in Africa has joined my feed, and other people within my household is using the internet. So it's gonna get freeze up. So don't worry about that. You still can hear me, and that's all we want to hear. We're gonna hear me. We're gonna see what we can do to adjust that situation. But based on what we are gathering here now, that Mr. Adidja Palmer and his co-accused are not in the courthouse. They're not in the courthouse right now, but his lawyers, and they're waiting on the judge to sit down. And as soon as that happens and the hearing get underway and she hand down her verdict, we will see what is next. We'll hear what is next. Will Mr. Palmer and his co-accused go free? Will there be a retrial? Will there be a retrial of the case? As I said before, you know that the former DPP, Jamaica's chief lawyer, one of Jamaica's chief lawyer, the DPP, has told the nation when she came back from London that she has dealt with tainted juries before. She has dealt with tainted juries before. And that doesn't look good at all. In other words, what she's saying that the jurors who was bribed in the VYBZ Cartel case is okay with her. That's what she had told the Jamaican people. Based on all of that, and the constitutionality of her being the director of public prosecution, based on all of that, we would love to figure out if she was let me figure out something here. I'm gonna stop something here that you all can. Yes, there you go, much better. Based on all of that, all the cases that the DPP has presided over, Miss Paula, should it be all of them should all of them try back over? Don't worry about me. I'm trying to figure out something here on the phone here because I have so many things coming in. I'm trying to get something out of the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston. We're still waiting. I am being told by a friend of mine at a news organization in Jamaica to stand by. So let us all stand by here. We're standing by to see if VYBZ Cartel, well, Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Cartel, the world boss, will he go free? Will there be a retrial? Somebody asked a question a while ago, can you try a person 2 times for the same thing? That's a very good question. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Just don't come on this platform here. Like, share, and subscribe. We're standing by to join the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston, Jamaica, for the verdict of Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Cartel, one of Jamaica's finest artists of all time. Will he go free? Will there be a retrial? We're standing by to join a news organization out there to tell us, give us the time, give us the verdict. Hold on for me. So many people asking me for the feed. So many people asking me for the feed. I should sell the feed, you know. But anyway, I can't do it. I'm a very kind-hearted person. So there we have it. We're standing by to join to hear what is going to happen. Will Cartel go free? Will Cartel go free? We're standing by to hear what is going to happen. We're also seeing where downtown Kingston around the oh, hold on for me, please. Oh Lord, hold on. Lord have his mercy, hold on.
So what is your answer?
With minimum space? What is A?
Bohemian.
17 minutes after 2. Good afternoon again, listeners. Just to give you an update, you know, we're on Cartel Watch, and the judge has now entered the courtroom. She is making inquiries of the media. Apparently, the courtroom, because of the size of the room, it's too small and filled to capacity. So we are being told... Oh no, so the judge has not yet entered the room, but is making inquiries as to the size of the crowd in the room. We are being told the room is too small, and the judge is questioning whether members of the media had first sought permission from the court administration division. The CAD is saying that they were not expecting the crowd that is assembled inside what is being described as a very small courtroom. And they are saying they didn't get a list of the media personnel who would be present. So they are seeking to determine whether the matter will be moved to another courtroom because of the size of the venue. So we are waiting to see the outcome of that. But yeah, 18 minutes after 2, still waiting for the judge to hand down her ruling. The courtroom full to capacity, and there's a question now as to whether they need to move to another courtroom because of the crowd they are seeing. Yeah, we're on Cartel Watch.
Me grew up as my granny save her money under a mattress.
There you have it. There you have it. Jamaica is on Cartel Watch. There you have it. We're standing by to hear the outcome of what is going on with VYBZ Cartel. As you heard, that the judge is inquiring about the size of the courtroom. They did not expect so much journalists. And I think that is damn stupidness. How you mean didn't expect so much journalists? The size of the media. Do you know how much radio stations Jamaica have? Plus, I'm pretty much sure other media houses around the globe have descended Jamaica. I'm pretty much sure a lot of international media houses is in Jamaica. So no matter think that you're gonna say, well, we never know this, we never know that. I think that's stupidness. Anyway, we're standing by. We are standing by. Let us do this. We're standing by to see what is gonna happen with the case with VYBZ Cartel. This is Make We Talk breaking news. Jamaicans and Jamaicans in the diaspora, and indeed the world, is on watch this afternoon, 3:22, 2:22 in Kingston, Jamaica, from London to Mozambique, from Mozambique to Zimbabwe, from Zimbabwe to the Ivory Coast. This is the Make We Talk program coming to you live as we bring to you live coverage of the VYBZ Cartel case. Will he walk free today, or will there be a retrial of Mr. Cartel case? We're standing by to hear what's going to happen. We're standing by to see if that's going to happen. Will there be a retrial? Let us all stand by and see if there will be a retrial. Hold on for me. Hello, good afternoon.
You know, I never thought that foolishness not change. Them want to change the date, you know. I postpone, them want to postpone it to stretch it out some more.
Well,
They can't read them play. The play is clear.
yes.
They can't sit so much journalists. You know, so much journalists in a Jamaica, and it's a big case like that.
All right. Sir, then I'm continuing off. I have to leave this line open up for the
Cool.
the journalist. Okay, thank you. Yes, there you have it. We're still standing by to see what's going to happen in downtown Kingston. Will Mr. Cartel, will Vibe Cartel, otherwise known as, well, his given name is Adidja Palmer. His stage name in the dancehall world is VYBZ Cartel. We're standing by to get this live feed to you all. Will he go free today? We're standing by for that. So as soon as we get more feed, we'll let you know what's going on. Just give me a minute here, please. We're gonna play what is going on earlier on today in downtown Kingston, where security forces cordon off the building in downtown Kingston.
Well, in Kingston today, the Supreme Court will rule on VYBZ Kartel's habeas corpus application, potentially impacting his detention status ahead of a pending retrial for murder. Our reporter, Ramon Gordon, is on location ahead of the 2 o'clock ruling.
There's increased police presence here at the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston, where a judge is set to rule on VYBZ Kartel's habeas corpus application. Now, habeas corpus is a legal concept that ensures people can't be held in jail without good reason. It gives individuals the right to challenge their detention in court. Cartel-born Adidja Palmer and his co-accused Shawn Storm Campbell, Kahira Jones and Andre St. John were convicted in 2014 for the 2011 murder of Clive Lizard Williams. However, their convictions were quashed in March by the Privy Council due to juror misconduct, and the case was sent back to the Court of Appeal to decide on a retrial. The habeas corpus application, argued by attorney Isaac Cannon, asserts that there is no legal basis for the continued detention of Palmer, Campbell, and St. John, as the Privy Council did not order their release or address the issue of detention. Buchanan argued that without an order from the higher courts, the men should be released. Well, we'll find out the outcome of those arguments later today. Ramon Gordon on location at the Supreme Court.
There you have it. The men should release today. So we're standing by to see what's going to happen. The judge is asking, maybe going to change the venue of that courtroom. We don't know. We're still waiting to hear what's going to happen. But based on what we're hearing, that the courtroom is filled to capacity. The courtroom is filled to capacity. We're standing by to join our news organization down there. Where we're listening from around the world on the Eastern Caribbean. The people all the way in Hartford, Connecticut. Hold on for me. Hartford, Connecticut. Mozambique, Zimbabwe. Look here. There's so much people watching us from around the world right now that I don't even know who they are. Just bear with us, please. We're going to get the live feed up to you. I want to say good afternoon to those here in South Florida who has joined the live feed. All the organization here in South Florida, news and people who joined the live feed here on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. We're coming to you live this afternoon. The Cayman Islands, good afternoon. We're coming to you live this afternoon to see what's going to happen. We're going to have a robust discussion. We're going to see what's going to happen with VYBZ Kartel and his co-accused. Will they walk free? Will there be a retrial? Will there be a retrial this afternoon? Let us see. Will there be a retrial? Let me see if I can get somebody else on the program here to come and join us here. Let me figure out something here. Just bear with me. I should have done this a long time ago, but who knows? We're standing by to see what's going to happen in the court, the Supreme Court, from the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston. As you know, the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston has been cordoned off with members of the JDF, members of the JCF, members of the JDF Air Wing, because we're being told that helicopters are in the air also. The radio stations did not report that, but what we're being told right now, that there is members of the JDF Air Wing in the air, making sure that everywhere is secure for us to hear the verdict of one of Jamaica's beloved artists of all time, Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Kartel. Will he walk from the Supreme Court or from Horizon Prison? Will he walk free this afternoon? Will he walk free this afternoon? Let us see. We're also going to get a little clipping from his attorney at law. His attorney at law, Mr. Isaac Buchanan. Hopefully we can get a little word from him. I know he's a very busy person. We're standing by to join them and to hear what is going to happen with the case Mr. VYBZ Kartel. Believe you me, Jamaicans are waiting. They really want to hear what's going to happen. I'm trying to figure out, does the government know something that we don't know? Why they decide to get all members of the JCF and members of the JDF and the air wing up in the air, helicopters up in the air. That's what we're being told. We're going to try and see if we can verify that. But VYBZ Kartel was arrested and charged for murder. The court in London, his attorney at law, Mr. Isaac Buchanan, took it to the Supreme Court, took it to the Privy Council rather, in London. London sent it back to Jamaica. Now, his attorney at law has filed for bail. Will he get bail today? We're standing by for the Supreme Court to tell us if he will get bail today. The news that we're having, that the judge is very concerned about the large crowd of journalists in the courtroom. They may move the courtroom. They may move the courtroom. Good afternoon to Ontario, Canada. They may move the courtroom to a different courtroom, to a larger courtroom. We don't know, but we're supposed to get the verdict from at 2 o'clock. Now it's 2:30, 3:31 in the United States. Depends on where you are in the United States. What time is it in South Africa now, in London? Let somebody tell me. What time is it in South Africa? What time is it in London now? What time is it in Ghana? People from all walks of life are waiting to hear the verdict of one of Jamaica's well-renowned artists of all time. The Make We Talk program here is bringing it to you live. That's Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel coming to you live. It is 8:30 in London, England. 8:31 in London, England. In Canada and Jamaica is the same time. What time is it in South Africa? Russia. Good afternoon to you, Russia. What time is it in Russia right now? We're standing by to join to hear the outcome of the case. To hear the outcome of the case. Based on all that we're getting, my. I have over 1,193 persons on Twitter. Good afternoon to all my Twitter family. We're standing by. Don't go anywhere. We are standing by. It is 11:32 in Dubai, 10:30 in Kenya, My. Kenya, good afternoon. Good morning. Wherever you are watching and listening from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. To all our families and friends in the Caribbean, to all our friends and family here in South Florida, in New York, in London, good afternoon to you all. Good morning. We're standing by. Just a moment, we're going to show you some other videos that happened earlier on today, and people are asking, why are they doing this? Why is members of the JDF and members of the JCF is doing this? But you know, it all depends on what they're doing. They have a right to secure the building. They have a right to cordon off the area. And this is what we have from them. There you have it. Downtown Kingston has been cordoned off. Okay, we have some news coming into us, not about what is going on at the Supreme Court, but other news about dual citizenship. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Matthew Samuda, has disclosed that he is a British citizen. That's Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, the JLP, and Minister Matthew Samuda has disclosed that he is a British citizen. He made the statement this afternoon on a radio station. I won't call the radio station name. But he made that statement this afternoon that he is a British subject. He is a British citizen. You want to see what's going on? There's so much news going on about Jamaica. Dual citizenship. Waiting for the verdict to be handed down about VYBZ Kartel. Members of Parliament is sitting in the Parliament with dual citizenship. And they're creating a can of worms about it. I want you all to remember to join Isaac Buchanan this afternoon on Context Matters, where his special guest will be Opposition Leader Mark Jefferson Golding. Stand by. We're waiting to have a live verdict from the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston. Will Mr. VYBZ Kartel, Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Kartel, will he walk free? Will he walk free and bail? Will he walk free and bail today? We're standing by to join that. We don't know what's going on as yet, but based on what we're hearing, oh Lord, based on what we're hearing, that the judge has have been inquiring about the size of the courtroom. The judge has been inquiring about the size of the courtroom because of so much people, so much journalists in the courtroom. So the judge has been inquiring about the size of the courtroom. Are they going to move to courtroom 1, 2, or 3? Are they going to move from that courtroom? We don't know. But they're saying where they are, that courtroom is a bit small. The judge is inquiring about that. All right. Based on that, they're trying to find out what is going on. We're waiting to get the live feed to bring the news to you. For those who are watching us from beyond the shores of Jamaica, for those who are watching us from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean, for those other news network that has joined this Make We Talk program to bring you live coverage of the case of VYBZ Cartel, the case of VYBZ Cartel. We are standing by. We are standing by. It is now 3:38, 2:38 in Jamaica. We're still standing by to bring that news to you live. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. We are standing by to get you live coverage of the verdict. What the verdict is, we're going to bring it to you live. What they say from what they did not say, we're going to bring it to you live on the program here. We're also going to have a comment from the attorney at law who represent Mr. Cartel, Mr. Palmer. VYBZ Cartel, Isaac Buchanan will give us a comment, hopefully. I spoke to him earlier on. Hopefully we can get a comment from him. Won't be long, but I know this evening
inside the courtroom, the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston. The judge has taken her seat. Listeners, here's what we have. The grounds for the application. The applicants are currently in custody without any valid conviction. The applicants are deprived of their liberty as they are not serving any sentence. Respondents has no legal reason to hold the applicants in custody. There is no lawful reason for the applicants' continued detention. Now, this is the grounds of the application. This is the reasoning put forward by Isaac Buchanan as to why Cartel, Shawn Campbell, and Andre St. John should be set free, should be released pending the outcome of the appeal. The judge is now giving background of the case. So, at any minute now, we expect to hear what the outcome is. So those are the grounds for the application, the writ of habeas corpus filed by Cartel's attorney. He maintains that the applicants are currently in custody without any valid conviction. He maintains that the applicants are being deprived of their liberty as they are not serving any sentence. He maintains that the respondent has no legal reason to hold the applicants in custody and that there is no lawful reason for the applicants' continued detention. Those are the grounds advanced by Isaac Buchanan before the Supreme Court. Yes? So it's now to be seen whether the judge finds favor with that reasoning. She's now giving the background of the case and outlining the orders of the Privy Council. Again, the grounds for the application: that the applicants are currently in custody without any valid conviction, that the applicants are being deprived of their liberty as they are not serving any sentence, that the respondents, meaning the state, has no legal reason to be holding them in custody, and that there's no lawful reason for the applicants' continued detention. Of course, VYBZ Kartel has been incarcerated since 2014, more than a decade, convicted for the murder of Clive Lizard Williams. That conviction overturned by the Privy Council. The Privy Council holding that significant jury issues meant that those convictions were unsafe and could not stand. The Privy Council remitted the matter to the local Court of Appeal for the Court of Appeal to determine whether there should be a retrial, and that hearing is set for June 10, and the Court of Appeal will hear arguments over 5 days. This matter before the Supreme Court, Isaac Buchanan, Cartel's lawyer, is asking the court to free him, and he's advancing that there is no sentence that he's serving. There is no reason he is advancing that he should be incarcerated because the convictions were overturned, set aside, quashed, and therefore the men should be released because there is no lawful reason, he says, for their continued detention. Just to tell you that it's Cartel Shawn Campbell and Andre St. John. Yes, Kahira Jones is not a part of this matter. So we are waiting now for the judge to hand down her decision as to whether she believes and accepts the arguments advanced by Isaac Buchanan that there is no lawful reason to hold Mr. Palmer, Mr. Campbell, and Mr. St. John in custody until the Court of Appeal hears the matter on June 10. The Court of Appeal says it will hear that matter over 5 days, starting Monday, June 10, and it will decide whether there should be a retrial or the men should be set free. Of course, there are varying opinions as to whether that retrial should be granted and whether that would be appropriate considering the amount of time that has passed. We should tell you as well that the matter was relocated to Courtroom 1, which is the Chief Justice's courtroom. It's a larger room and able to accommodate the crowd that has gathered to hear this matter. Reminding you of the grounds for the application. The attorneys are advancing that the applicants are currently in custody without any valid conviction. They say they are being deprived of their liberty as they're not serving any sentence, that there's no legal reason to hold the applicants in custody, and that there's no lawful reason for the applicants' continued detention. Those are the grounds for the application for the writ of habeas corpus to grant Cartel bail, to have him released, set free, pending the outcome of the Court of Appeal hearing over 5 days set for June 10, Monday, June 10. Our reporter in the courtroom is Robian Williams, doing yeoman's service. And of course, Robian will have to listen carefully to the reasoning put forward by the judge and type those responses to us in real time. So if you hear me halting, it's because I am reading the notes as they come in to us in real time. You heard earlier, it's a packed courtroom. I'm told several senior members at the bar are present, members of the media fraternity, senior journalists, entertainment journalists, all present in Courtroom 1, downtown Kingston. That's the Chief Justice's courtroom, one of the larger ones. And we're now waiting to hear whether the judge has accepted the grounds for the application for the writ of habeas corpus. Again, that the applicants are currently in custody without any valid conviction, that the applicants are deprived of their liberty as they're not serving any sentence, that there's no legal reason to hold them in custody, and that there is no lawful reason for the applicants' continued detention. How did we get here? Mr. Palmer and the gentleman appealed to the UK-based Privy Council after the Court of Appeal upheld the 2014 conviction. The Court of Appeal, the Privy Council, heard the matter and determined that there was merit in the appeal. The merit that there were jury issues in that trial, significant jury issues, and that those jury issues rendered the convictions unsafe. The Privy Council, the law lords in England, 5 of them, set aside the convictions. They overturned them, quashed them, and sent back the matter to the local Court of Appeal for the local Court of Appeal to determine whether there should be a retrial. The Court of Appeal acted swiftly and determined that that retrial hearing will happen on June 10, and pending that hearing, Mr. Palmer's attorneys are asking the Supreme Court on a writ of habeas corpus, to release him from custody because they say the state has no lawful authority. There is no basis to continue to hold him in detention. And of course, the reasoning there would be that the Privy Council had set aside the convictions. We are waiting as Robian transcribes, types what the judge is saying from the bench. They had to relocate to another courtroom because of the size of the crowd that's gathered at the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston. The judge is now summarizing the submissions made by Isaac Buchanan. Of course, Mr. Buchanan is the attorney representing VYBZ Cartel. Yes, so we are still waiting, listeners, for the outcome. These things happen this way. Yeah, the judge gets on the bench. The judge outlines the arguments from those who are making the application. They may make summarize the arguments from those opposing the application, and then you get the decision. So it's not just a matter of sitting down and then telling you yes or no. There is usually a summary of the arguments advanced before that happens. So 2:48, we're still waiting for the decision of Justice Andrea Thomas, who is presiding in this matter. She is summarizing now the submissions of Isaac Buchanan. And I'll tell you one more time what Isaac Buchanan is advancing, what he's asking the judge to accept. He's asking the justice to accept that the applicants, Cartel, Campbell, St. John, are currently in custody without any valid conviction, that they're being deprived of their liberty as they're not serving any sentence, and that there's no legal reason to hold them in custody, and there is no lawful reason for them to be for their continued detention. All right, so we don't yet have any further update. The judge is still summarizing the submissions of Isaac Buchanan. So as soon as we get a definitive response from the judge, when she gets to the part of her decision as to whether she will set them free or not, we will bring that to you. We take a break and come back.
There you have it. There you have it. We are standing by. You know, all of these things take a bit of time, you know. All of this take a bit of time. So bear with us. Bear with us, please. All of this take a bit of time. Bear with us, please. As I said before, everything take a bit of time. We are saying to ourselves that we want to get rid of this. You know, we want to get this out and going. The man must be free. As what you just heard, on May 10th, on Monday, June 10th, there will be a hearing for 5 days to decide if the case should go to retrial. What Mr. Isaac Buchanan is deliberating is saying that they have spent enough time in jail without being for nothing that, well, let me not say that. What they're saying that the judge, there will be a court hearing on Monday, June 10th for 5 days. Yes, for 5 days. I'm still listening to something in my ears here. So sorry if I'm being distracted. It's just me alone inside here. My guy who used to help me from beyond my home, he is not helping me today. Hold on for me. Okay. Yes. So there you have it. We're still waiting to hear the grounds of what happened in the court. We're still waiting to hear what the judge is going to hand down. We're still waiting. We're not going to take no second-hand or third-hand news. We're going to get it straight from the source. We're also going to have a little comment from his attorney at law, Mr. Isaac Buchanan. I spoke to him earlier on. My subscription button is on. I never take it off. What's going on here? My subscription button is on. I don't know what's going on. My subscription button is on. Let me see something here. Please bear with us. It is now 3:53.
Listeners, and it's important that we clarify something because you understand it's being reported across social media that bail has been granted to Vybz Kartel. We do not have such a decision at this point. The judge is still summarizing. What we have so far is a summary of the arguments made by his attorney. Okay? So no decision has been made. No decision has been made at this point, right? At 2:53 in the afternoon, there is no decision. What we had was a summary of Kartel's attorney's arguments. And of course, those arguments were telling the judge that there is no lawful reason for the detention. No, the judge was summarizing those arguments. So what she was reading out was not her opinion, but rather the arguments advanced by Kartel's attorney. That's a summary part of the decision. Yes, so there has been no decision made as to whether Kartel has gotten bail. At this point, at 2:54, no decision has been made just yet. So we are waiting. The judge is still summarizing the arguments put before her. She has not yet delivered her decision, her judgment, her ruling. All right. So I see the YouTubers telling us that, a decision has been made. No, we understand it has been posted elsewhere, but that's not the case. There is no decision just yet. Soon as we get the information with clarity from our experienced court reporter, Robian Williams, we will tell you. Yeah. 2:54. We take the break, come back with more.
There you have it. That is why I don't listen to people, I have to get it straight from the source. No decision has been made. No decision has been made about Mr. Kartel being set free. We're waiting on the judge to make such decision. We will not come on this program here and put out propaganda news. That's not me. We're waiting. We are waiting to hear what's going to happen. But based on what we're gathering now, at one point the judge was moving to another courtroom. They had moved to the courtroom. They were there talking about what Mr. Buchanan has put towards the court. No decision has been made about the release of Mr. Vybz Kartel. No decision has been made. There is nothing in the courtroom. I'm going to go back and look again. There's nothing coming from the courtroom on any news network stating that he has been released. Nothing. There's nothing from the Gleaner. I have a person who's inside the courtroom also, and there's nothing coming in from the person inside the courtroom. So I will not come out and say that he is free. Until I get it, then I will say it. When I get it out, you can call me. You can call me. So it's all up to you. I don't care. I won't come out and say anything until I hear it. So when we get it, then we'll pass it on to you. When we get it, we'll pass it on to you. I have a person in the courtroom who is in my ears on my phone. The person is texting me. We have not gotten anything as yet. As soon as the person say it, then we'll pass it on to you. We're standing by to get some news. We're standing by to get some news out of the courtroom and also on the news network here that we had here. I just happened to have a friend of mine, from a journalist friend of mine, who's inside the courtroom, and the person is at the moment texting me. I don't know what's going on about the subscribe button. It is supposed to be up. Don't know what's going on. People are saying that Mr. Carter is on $3 million bail. We're not aware of that, and I won't say anything about that. Anyway, on Monday, May 10th, they're going to be a 5-day deliberation on the case based on what we're getting on Monday, May 10th. Hold on.
Joining studio now by Cliff Hughes. Good afternoon, Sir Cliff.
Good afternoon, Ricardo. Good afternoon, listeners. And as you said, Ricardo, we're on Cartel Watch, yes? And Cartel is a polarizing figure in Jamaican culture. And, of course, he represents anti-establishment sentiments,
Yes.
yeah, and symbolism in the cultural economy that's Jamaica. And as I said, he somehow provokes, yes, very, very deep passion and following among a significant section of the Jamaican population. He's been incarcerated from 2011, yes?
Yes, when he was arrested.
That's more than 13 years now. And given that Privy Council judgment recently quashing the conviction for the murder of Clive Lizard Williams, today it's all about whether his lawyers will prevail when they made that application to the Supreme Court that that Cartel and his 3 co-accused should be released from the Tar Street Adult Correctional Center.
Hold on there. What?
This is breaking news from Nationwide Radio.
All right, at 3 o'clock. All right, so no, she has now deleted the message. So I'm gonna
let me tell you, we have our court reporter Robian Williams. Yes, Robian Williams.
And we want to get this accurate. And
okay, based on what we're hearing, you know what? Let us go back to this.
Was made, but she has now deleted that. So let's hold.
She's in courtroom number 1 at the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston.
Yes.
Yes, and she's telling us, yes, as the developments occur, what's happening inside Justice Andrea Thomas's courtroom. She is presiding
yes.
And the whole country, yes, is on Cartel Watch.
Yes,
I just came off the phone with someone who said to me, in Gateway, yeah, in Gateway, we're all waiting. Yes, we are waiting like you are waiting.
Yes.
And if it's news, it's nationwide. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's important to get this correct again. We know it's been posted elsewhere, that it was posted earlier that there was bail granted. We didn't have that information at the time, so we are waiting. Our reporter indicated just now a decision was made. She has since retracted that. So we're waiting to see what the decision is. Of course, you are going through the history of this matter, Cliff.
And what it represents.
Yes.
Yes. This is something that, as I said, the word is polarizing. There are people who are passionate in their belief that he should be freed others who say, no, you did the crime, you must do the time. Yes, the country is split. Yes, but there are a lot of people who are hoping, yes, that he will be granted bail and he will be going home this evening, while there are a lot of others who are saying, hell no.
And it's about what it would represent for the Jamaican state. I've long said, having watched the Privy Council hearings, that it was a significant blow for the administration of justice for the Privy Council to say that the matter had to be sent back and those convictions overturned. Of course, the state would have marshaled significant resources.
Here it is.
We now have it.
No bail.
No bail. Adidja Palmer, at 48 years old, do I have that right? I believe he's 48. Yes, at 48 years old, no bail. Justice Andrea Thomas has rejected the application for the writ of habeas corpus. She will not be setting VYBZ Kartel
and his two,
Shawn Campbell and Andre St. John, free. Yeah. No bail has been granted, listeners. She has rejected the application, the high-profile application brought by Isaac Buchanan in the Supreme Court. Our reporter is telling us Justice Andrea Thomas has rejected it. No bail. Kartel will remain incarcerated pending the outcome of the appeal in the Court of Appeal. That's set for June 10, over 5 days. He will not walk free while they determine whether there should be a retrial.
They will spend another night at the Tor Street Adult Correctional Center. They have been incarcerated since 2011 after being charged in the disappearance and murder of Clive Lizard Williams. Their trial back then lasted all of 65 days.
At the time,
one of the longest
yes,
in Jamaican history. And then they were finally convicted in 2014. He was sentenced as Kartel to life imprisonment with eligibility for parole after 35 years. Campbell and Jones are eligible for parole after serving 25 years and St. John after 15 years. But in March this year, the Privy Council overturned the convictions and ordered that the case be remitted to Jamaica's appeal court to decide whether a retrial is necessary. That determination is now scheduled for June 10. Isaac Buchanan and the team of lawyers were hoping that given that the conviction was quashed, that they would be set free from the confines of the prison.
And now we have more from the judge's decision. She's saying the detention is not in breach of the Jamaican Constitution. Still going through her reasoning, but at 5 minutes after 3, the news out of the Supreme Court is that Justice Andrea Thomas has denied the writ for habeas corpus to have Kartel and 2 of the gentlemen who are incarcerated alongside him released. Yes, she's saying there's no breach of the Constitution, and therefore she will not accept the arguments advanced by Isaac Buchanan. He will have to wait. He'll have to wait.
The determination of the Court of Appeal.
Yes.
The verdict.
Yeah, and that, of course, the hearing set for June 10, yes. And then, of course, they'll have to consider what will be significant arguments, Marshall. I imagine, listeners, you'd recall that even the Privy Council said the amount of information they had to go through in coming to their decision was significant. So you can expect that in the Court of Appeal on this retrial hearing, that will also be significant.
And just to get some reactions quickly from our YouTube channel, Nationwide 90 FM Live, Herman Carter Hyatt says, hallelujah, praise the Lord, hallelujah.
There you have it. A lot of Jamaicans and people from around the world was hoping and praying that a lot of people from around the world and Jamaicans was hoping that Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Kartel, would have walked free today. But there you have it. VYBZ Kartel has been remanded into custody. He will not walk free. This is Make We Talk breaking news. There you have it. VYBZ Kartel will not be granted bail today. He has been in prison since 2011, 13 years. He'll go before the court again on Monday, June 10th. I end up saying May 10th, sorry. On Monday, June 10th, there will be a deliberation for 5 days. So there you have it. Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Cartel, will not be granted bail today. That's how you get it. That's how we have it here. VYBZ Cartel will not be granted bail. I'm pretty much sure this has been a blow to Isaac Buchanan, who is Mr. Cartel's attorney at law. So this is the news coming into us on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. That is why I will not, let me make something clear. I am not one of those persons who jump and say things. I have to investigate first. The news that is coming into us now, Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Cartel, has not been granted bail. Has not been granted bail. That is the news we're getting in right now. Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Cartel, has not been granted bail. That is the news coming into us on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. For those who are watching us from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean, for those other news organizations that is piggybacking on this program here, I want to thank you all for coming on. But the news that we're having, that VYBZ Cartel. This is Make We Talk breaking news. Yes, the news that we're having, that VYBZ Cartel has not been granted bail. VYBZ Cartel has not been granted bail. That is the news that we're having in our news center this afternoon. We don't know. We're going to try and see if we can get a comment from his attorney. He had promised us, but I don't know. I know Isaac is a person who is very busy at the moment, and he's going to have his program coming up anytime soon. So there you have it. VYBZ Cartel, Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Cartel, has not been granted bail. He has been in prison since 2011, over 13 years. Over 13 years. He has been incarcerated for over 13 years. It's been said that Mr. Palmer is suffering from kidney problem and other illness. But based on what we're hearing now out of the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston, that Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Cartel, has not been granted bail. And some people are saying on social media he has been granted bail. No, he has not. And we have to be very careful when we put out the news to the people. We can't be a willy-nilly. We have to be very careful. So that you have it there. It is now 11 minutes after 4 o'clock, 11 minutes after 3 o'clock in Jamaica. VYBZ Cartel has not been granted bail. That's the news that we're getting in. And let me see something here. I think I have something coming in from the journalist that is in the newsroom, one of my good friend. That is in the courtroom, rather. Okay, hold on for me. No, it's not. He's not saying something. Yeah, that's not it. Sorry. Yes, what we're hearing, that VYBZ Cartel has not been granted bail. Well, RFM made a blunder. RFM made a blunder. Or whosoever made a blunder. But based on what we're hearing now, Cartel has not been granted bail. It is reported on You heard it on Nationwide News. And I'm still looking on the Gleaner's website. I haven't seen anything as yet on the Gleaner's website. I haven't seen anything as yet on the Jamaica Observer website. Hold on, I think something just came up a while ago. No, I haven't seen anything on the Jamaica Gleaner website either. Not the Jamaica Observer. Nothing on their website. I haven't seen anything. But based on what we're hearing, at 13 minutes after 4 o'clock, 13 after 3 o'clock in Kingston City, Jamaica, Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Cartel, has not been granted bail. He has been in prison for over 13 years, yes. He went to prison in 2011. He has been in there for over 13 years. And he has not been granted bail. The judge, who is a female judge, has just said to the nation of Jamaica, and indeed the world, he has not been granted bail. So that is the news coming into us. He has not been granted bail. That is the news coming into us this afternoon on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Ladies and gentle people, someone was saying to me that there's a problem with the subscription button. I'm not aware of that. As soon as I come off air, I'll figure that out. But based on what we're hearing now, Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Cartel, has not been granted bail. He has been in lockup. He has been in locked up for over 13 years. And his lawyers was hoping that he will get bail. His lawyers was hoping that he will get bail, but he has not gotten bail. He has not gotten bail. I did what? The subscription not working because I did what? This is weird. It's totally weird. It's supposed to be working. Oh, Lord. Well, I'm going to get it work as soon as I come off air. Remember, it is Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares. There's a fake Make We Talk out there that don't belongs to me. It is not me. Somebody trying to piggyback on me. It's not me at all. It is Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares. That's the name of my YouTube channel. Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares. I think a lot of people are saying that the government is afraid that if Mr. Cartel come out, he'll be suing them. Well, we don't know. It's been rumored around that if he come out, that will happen. We don't know. But based on what we're hearing now, Mr. Cartel is not granted bail at all. Let me see if I can get a hold of our good friend here. I doubt it. I doubt we can get a hold of him. I doubt if we can get a hold of him, but I want to try something here. Hopefully we can. I don't think let's try. We're going to try same way to see if we can get a hold of him. But based on what we're hearing now, people all over the place is saying free world boss. He is not free. Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Cartel, remain in custody this afternoon. He is not free at all. Yes, he is not free at all. It is now 17 minutes after 4 o'clock, 17 after 3 o'clock in Jamaica. And the news that we're having here is that Jamaica, one of Jamaica's well-renowned artists of all times, who has been locked up for over 13 years. A lot of Jamaicans, both home and abroad, was hoping that he would got bail, but he hasn't gotten bail at all. They haven't granted him bail. And you believe that people are saying that the justice system in our country is not working well. They must know why they haven't gotten him bail. Thank you for the correction. They must know if he hasn't. They must know why they haven't granted him bail. They must know why they haven't granted him bail. But he has not been granted bail. He has not been granted bail at all. There will be a 5-day deliberation on June 10th, Monday, June 10th. 5-day deliberation. In 2011, Mr. Palmer went to jail, to prison. He has been in there for over 13 years. He has suffered some health issues, and his attorney at law was hoping that he would have gotten him out. I don't know why. It's supposed to be on. It's always on. The subscription button, I don't know what's going on. And I can't get into it now because I am on this thing here, so I can't get into it now. This is weird. I mean, it's supposed to be on. Let me figure out something here. But based on all of who is just joining us on this program here, murder accused who has been in prison for over 13 years, Adidja Palmer, has not been granted bail. That's murder accused Mr. Adidja Palmer has not been granted bail. I don't know what's going on here. You're supposed to have the, you know what, let me finish doing the program, then I can deal with that. Based on what we're hearing this afternoon, coming into a new center, it's all over the globe now. Adidja Palmer has not been granted bail. Has not been granted bail. There's a phone call coming in. Hello, caller, welcome to the program.
You're still live.
Yes, I am.
You're going to go on. Tavares, go on the motor, we have come about 4 to 5 minutes. Then I knock you out, but come in and talk about some private.
Okay, no problem, man. Thanks much.
More kids.
Yeah, man. Cool. Okay. There's a lot of reaction coming in on social media. A lot of people are quarreling and saying that this is not fair. Well, they must know why. What is going on here? They must know why they haven't granted the gentleman bail. They must know why. It is, there you have it now. Dancehall artist VYBZ Kartel and 2 of his 3 accused were denied bail in the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston on Thursday, May 30, 2024. This is on the Jamaica Observer website. The Jamaica Observer website is saying, and of course we brought it to you live here on the Make We Talk program, dancehall artist VYBZ Kartel and 2 of his 3 co-accused were denied bail in the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston on Thursday, May 30th, 2024. That is the news that is coming into us. Supreme Court Justice Andrea Thomas handed down the ruling a short while ago. Supreme Court Justice Andrea Thomas handed down the ruling a short while ago. And the news is dancehall artist VYBZ Kartel and two of his three co-accused were denied bail in the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston on Thursday, May 30th, 2024. Supreme Court Justice Andrea Thomas handed down the ruling a short while ago. So there you have it. VYBZ Kartel will not be free. Jamaicans from all walks of life are very upset this afternoon. But the court has handed down their ruling. The court has handed down their ruling, and that is their ruling. Until you hear my voice again, I was just told not to go as yet because there's a possibility that I may have someone come on to speak to us some more. Okay, so we're going to see if we can get the person. Okay, go ahead. Based on what we're hearing now, the Jamaica Observer newspaper is reporting now. Hold on. Hello, good afternoon. Hello?
Okay.
Yes?
You didn't know so they're not giving no bail.
Why is
You
it?
could have tell. You could have tell. You might just say, you expect them to give bail, they're not going to give them no bail. Remember me tell you that. Me did expect that. Because I did my rule. You know, see, I did my rule. Look here, just you see that case here? That case here is very, what do you call it?
It's a very tricky case. It's a very tricky case.
Yeah. Right? I'm here, you know what going with that case other people know. Remember me tell you that. You and I don't know what's going on with this case, but plenty of people know what's going on. Plenty of people know what's going on. Then, no, I never think again. No wonder when this woman made the one, the eyes are 2 years old. No wonder when this one, the one, the eyes are 2 years suspension cannot send them. Just for later,
all right, darling. I'm gonna open the phone lines for those who want to call in and give your views on what happened in the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston this afternoon. The number to call is 954-529-8030. Yes. The number to call is 954-529-8030. What is your views on the whole cartel denied bail? He has been denied bail. What is your views on that? You can call in via WhatsApp, 954-529-8030. You can call in via WhatsApp, 954-529-8030. You can also call in straight, 954-529-8030. That's the number to call into the program. Your views on what the judge has just handed down. Dancehall Star, one moment, please. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Make We Talk program.
Good afternoon, sir.
Speak up for me.
Tell you this right now. I can tell you this right now.
Yes.
Only the people alone can free Cartel.
Why you say that?
Why I say that?
Yes.
Because the system will never free him. Right? Everything that he's done is about freedom, and every time he gets there, the door slams on him, right? Also, every police presence alone should tell us from the get-go that this won't be a result favored to Cartel. Right? Why would a heavy police presence in the courthouse when if there is a freedom, heavy police presence wouldn't be there because he's not even at court.
You know, I was wondering myself, why would they put a police presence out there so heavy? Is it that they expect some riot to happen in the streets?
I think that they expect they expect a no bail, and they expect a reaction from the public. Right? So that's just my take on it. So I'll let you go.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Wow. What is your views on it? Call into the program, 954-529-8030. That is, you need to call in. Okay, one more call coming in. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Make It Talk program. Hello? Okay, the person don't want to talk. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Make It Talk program. Hello?
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes?
Yes. My thought on it.
Can you turn off your device in the background, please, sir? Yes, go ahead now.
Hello? Yes, I've been following this case from the beginning till now. And I believe if just to say something here, if Jamaica ever walk away from England, we as poor people, we have a lot of it, is gonna go through this again and we are gonna suffer. Trust me, we have some corrupted people in our country. Real corruption is in Jamaica. And I'm a 29-year-old young man speaking to you.
Okay, sir.
You know, but I follow everything and I see what's going on in our country. Yes. Our country goes to the dog.
Okay.
Trust me. From the top to the bottom. If you don't have money come from the uptown and in our society, you will suffer. You can imagine how much poor people, how much people in prison right now for suffering, and they're not guilty. You know how much innocent people in prison for this? Oh Lord, man. Only thing can save our country is Jesus himself.
Yes, sir. Thank you for calling in. Have a
okay, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Make It Talk program. How can I assist you? Where are you calling from? Hello? Can you turn off your device in the background, please, sir? Hello? 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 Okay, you got to call back because if you're not coming through. Can you call back for me, please? 954-529-8030. That's the number to call into the program. 954-529-8030. That's the number to call into the program. There was somebody calling in a while ago. You're reconnecting. Can you call back? (954-529-8030). What is going on here? Okay. So there you have it. The court has ruled that dancehall artist VYBZ Kartel and his co-accused has not been granted bail. One moment. Can you turn off your TV or whatever you have in the background, please, when you're calling? Hello, welcome to the Make It Talk program.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear from Negril Point to Moran Point, ma'am.
Nice. Well, I'm calling from England, London, England.
Oh, from London, England. Did you have a cup of tea and slice of bread and butter? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, I believe that they expected a riot today.
Yes.
And that's why they have all of the SWAT team outside, all of that outside the courtroom. But they don't know that the public is smarter than them, because the public is not going to compromise VYBZ Kartel like that to make him look bad. You understand? By starting a riot. But when June 10 come, I feel like if they don't free him, there's gonna be a big war in Jamaica. That's how I feel.
Why you feel that way?
Because the public has been I feel like the public and so many other countries respect him that much that they actually, don't want to start a riot. They don't want to start a war to make the VYBZ Kartel look bad. But when it comes to June now, when they don't let him go, I feel like Jamaica is going to be a whole heap of things going on down there. I'm telling you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for calling. Our next call coming in. Thank you for calling in.
All right.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Make We Talk program. Where are you calling from? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hello. I'm calling from Kenya.
Oh, you're calling from Kenya?
Yeah, from Kenya.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we've been waiting for this cartel case. We don't know how it's going on, and what's the feedback?
Well, the verdict is that he has not been granted bail, sir. He has not been granted bail, okay?
Till when? So what's the way forward?
The report is that he has not been granted bail. There will be a there'll be a next court hearing on June 10th for a 5-day deliberation to see if there's going to be a retrial, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Make We Talk program.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. How can I assist you? Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, welcome to the program. Go ahead.
Yes, man, it's me calling from Bermuda. We keep on the channel,
Pardon?
Yes, it's me. I'm calling from Bermuda. This is me calling from Bermuda.
How you doing? How is
Bermuda? Bermuda, all right, man, but the health system is corrupt and dirty. They need to give VYBZ Kartel bail. They need him bail. They're not treating him fair. I've been following the case, man. They ain't got nothing on him. Let him out on bail until he go back in jail.
Well, that's it. He has not been granted bail, and
Yes, I'm watching you right now. It's unfair.
Yes. Well,
he needs bail.
Well, let us see what's gonna happen on the 5th.
What they're trying to do? Let him out when it's at zero? They're trying to drain his bank account?
I don't know.
Two wrong doesn't make a right.
Yes.
Well, big up Jamaica. Everybody stick by, not just VYBZ Kartel, because there's a lot of people locked up.
Thank
but
you.
Not.
Thank you for
a
calling
lot
in.
of people.
How about the calls coming in? Thank you for calling in. You can
Okay,
call back if
big
you want.
up, out of hell, Bermuda, rooting for you. Big up, big up. Thank you, mister.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Make We Talk program. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon. How can I assist you, sir?
Is this Nationwide?
This is the Make We Talk program, sir.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying, I'm calling from Manchester, England, yeah?
Yes.
But the only way cartel can free else them boycott the election. Nobody go out and vote.
Well, let us all see.
That's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Make We Talk program.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hiya. Listen, man. I've been watching this case for about 2 years now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And what a lot of people need to realize, the law is the law. You know, we cannot step above the law and we're not above the law, you know? Everybody is entitled to a fair trial. But, you know, if it was your son, right, that was murdered, I'm sure everybody would want justice, you know?
Yes.
And so we need to go, we need to go past this thing now where we're looking at a favorite artist or we're looking at a favorite singer. Because if it was your son that was murdered, you would want justice. Everybody would want justice, you know?
Indeed.
So I think that we're looking at this thing one-sided. If the guy is guilty, it clearly shows that the guy is guilty, right? The guy, there's no doubt about it. The guy is guilty. So I can't understand the hypocrisy of where people are saying, oh, free this person or free that person. If it was their family, would they want him free? It's as simple as that. If you do the time, if you do the crime, you just simply do the crime. What's all this stuff? I mean, the Privy Council are not stupid people. If they were that stupid, they would say, listen, you know what? Let's overturn the whole thing and let the guy out. But they know the guy is guilty, right? There's no way that the guy will be free. I can bet you any money next June 10th, the guy will remain in prison. They will do a retrial and they'll lock him up more. It's as simple as that. The guy is totally guilty. Anyway, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
Wow. It's everybody's opinion. You can call back. The numbers are 954-529-8030. You can call back 954-529-8030. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Mecca Talk program. Where you calling from?
Yeah, calling from Salt Spring, Montego Bay.
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
Good afternoon.
Can you turn off your TV or what you have on the background, please, sir? Because I'm getting a feedback.
Okay, hold on. Calling from Salt. Yeah, you hear me better now, right?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. All right, I have one question before I start, okay?
Uh-huh.
Alrighty. My understanding is that when VYBZ Kartel case was overturned in the UK, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said that when it was squashed, it was returned back to the Privy Council in Jamaica. It was under two options to the Supreme Court, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I heard two options that is either he get a retrial or is be free. But my understanding is that if he get a retrial, that his retrial will be granting bail to be outside and bail while going back to court. Is that right?
I am not aware of the court, the due disposition of the court, sir. But based on that I know, I think that's what you're correct. Yes, give him bail and he end up going to court.
Yeah. So anyway you take it, it will be split out by June 10, right? To 15.
Well, it all depends. Yes.
Yeah, because I heard that if he should be going on a retrial, he'll be granted bail. All right.
Yes.
So that means he'll be outside. Yeah. So that was I was just calling to confirm.
All right, sir. Thanks much.
All right.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Mecca Talk program.
Yes, evening, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we just want to say a point, though. Me hear a 29-year-old earlier and say him call and I tell you about the corruption. I mean, notice say you ignore him. If the country and the people are never corrupt in a chief, you know, so wouldn't they hear so? Because we all know say cartel guilty.
Hold on,
if they just
hold on for me, my brother. Hold on. Why you say I was ignoring him?
Yes, I was ignoring him because he was saying what he's saying about corruption in our country. All of them corrupt to the tier. I was like, yeah. And then next caller. I'm going to take that very, very disrespectful. I'm going to say my upper caller for say it to you.
No, let me apologize to you. If I seem disrespectful to you, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. It's just the calls were coming in and I'm trying to get everybody to come on in and talk. I wasn't being disrespectful. To be honest, I was not being disrespectful, sir. And if you think that way, I apologize to you. And I apologize to the
yeah, my apology if I'm wrong, my apology. What I want to say is, if the country and everybody never so corrupted to the T, Cartel would have get sentenced at the time, long time now.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is guilty. Yeah, I just showed them go the corrupt way to sentence him. Now people have something to say. There's nothing to say. He is guilty. Yeah, but just show police them, just show a system them corrupt from the head to the teeth.
them try manipulate it, thinking they're going to get out, and it wouldn't work. Some never they go work with it, and some will work with it. But that is where it is now. Taxpayers' money drying out now, and people up on the road hungry. Places up on the road want to fix up, but yet still at this man, him, everything about. No. So if we get out the corruption out of our country, first thing first, we not have them only pass up me and waste people money.
Well, let me ask you a question, sir. Don't you think the Jamaican people should be the ones standing up now, sir? If
no, we can't stand.
Why?
And I would quote and say we can't stand because we're so may I go put myself in that because we're so stupid to certain things. When the more important thing is here about our country and about our upliftment and reaching forward, here's no riot, here's no people talking about it, here's no one on it. But anytime there's something else which is foolishness, all of we Jamaicans jump up and run with it. No, if we stand up and talk about the corruption and make the Prime Minister, any one of them come in and work on corruption, what would reach here, sir?
Let me ask you this question. Like how you're talking about corruption and so forth. Are you aware that they're trying to amend the constitution for us to go republic?
Okay, and I know, sir.
Not amend. To get
tell the truth, it is the quickest way. It is the quickest way for me to run from my country now where I'm born. Because if them so corrupt and want to change the constitution, so they're going to oversee and see everything, it's going to be worse. It's going to be very, very worse. I'm sorry for my whole generation coming forth. Yeah, because I am also 29 too, you know. So I know it's a wicked. So right now, no for we are look a loophole out to live here. Teachers living here, nurses living here, doctors living here, or police living here. So why we as the person here what lower at the food chair doing here?
You know, I hear you talking, I can hear the passion in your voice. Yes, views,
because my hurt, Daddy, my hurt.
Your views on the whole idea. Should we have an elected president or a ceremonial president?
Elected.
Okay.
By each and everybody. By each and everyone. Not who them write up and put on paper and dictate who to vote.
Yeah.
No, by each and everyone have a talking. We should vote if we want to go to Republic. We should have a general election where everybody vote for our Jamaican people and what the on the ground. See them perspective, where we are gonna go. Not how them are do it. How them are do it come like we in a chain, like we're under bandage same way. And we're gonna keep on under bandage the next 100 years if we go same way under the same system.
Yes. All right, my
friend. I say them can't go Republic, you know. But get rid of all that corruption. Start from the corruption from the root, come right up.
Yes.
Yeah, don't put money and business and fame and all of those stuff over the people. All right. May I make you go now, but I'm going to tell you what. May I tell you a little thing what got happen down the road. When Jamaica go Republic, you know, the whole government go walk a compound town, you know, to the piece of land, you know. I mean, know that got happen, you know.
Yes, sir.
Them go walk a compound town for the piece of land. When them go Republic, them go fling what all our British have and put on because them take everything from history, but them not take the piece of paper what our ancestors fight for have a saying in our own country because it's not our own. I feel like the only place where feel is that a compound town have and they want to take it away from our brute force. So I know when we go Republic, that's going to be a next major thing and you know the crime are going to step and it's going to step. No man, it hurt me, Daddy. It hurt me.
Boy.
It hurt me. No, to be honest, I skip through now and up on YouTube and I look at me and say, all right, this is a live cartel. And the live is about VYBZ Kartel rioting. Why should we have a riot in one of our main capital, them downtown, for a man where them say murder, but all I evidence say, because everybody know.
Hold on for me. On my YouTube channel, it did not say VYBZ Kartel riot.
No, but then so what? It maybe going to cause a riot. People is out. Because people when me live now take bus and go to town and say cartel and come and road. I feel me come and road and be a city. I call them stupid.
Wow.
I call them stupid. So just a while ago when me hear you announce and say it's going to be a next court date, Mr. Boy, me I wonder what them are downtown now.
Okay. I'm not running you on, but I have some more calls coming in. I want to tell you
yes, man. Yes, thank you very much to answer.
Yeah, man. Thanks much. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Make We Talk program.
Yeah. I'm going.
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Yeah, man. Calling from Canada, man. You know?
Yes, sir.
My question is that, you want to find out, how is it that we see the justice system grant bail to so much youth who go in front of them with double murder, more than 2 murder, 5 murder, so many times?
Yes.
And this man now, who has no conviction over his head anymore, because I'm pretty sure that if he goes to the submit station and apply for a criminal record or such, he's going to be clean. And yet still, it's hard for them to grant this man bail, and this man has no conviction over his head. It's just corruption as to playing out right now.
Okay.
And first time corruption used to hide, but now it's just playing out blatant. They have to please whosoever they have to please. This is just about feelings. This is not about law anymore. This is about feelings. They don't like the individual, so they will do everything in their power to keep this guy behind bars.
Okay.
That is just my opinion.
All right. Thanks very much.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Respect. Thanks. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Make We Talk program.
Okay. That's just my opinion.
Can you turn off your TV in the background, please, sir?
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Make We Talk program. Okay. Good afternoon, Ernest.
Did you turn off your TV was in the background, sir?
Yes, I did.
Okay, go ahead for me, please.
Yes, calling in from Trinidad. Just now watch the verdict from your channel. And to be honest, I must say that all of us Jamaicans, we just like to play bias. Well, I wouldn't say all, majority, to us to a point because of favoritism, who we like and who we don't like. But we all know the truth. The evidence is finding it is clear. And if the evidence state, weight state, which we all know, why is it that we now coming to say free VYBZ Kartel? Why is it that we're not saying let justice take its course? If he's innocent, then obviously he will come out. But we all know VYBZ Kartel is saying about what he does, and that is the judgment and the repercussion for his own actions. And all I will say is wish him the best. Hope his lawyer will fight for him, but at the end of the day, justice will take its course for his own crime and his own actions that he has done. Nobody has done anything to him other than himself. If he didn't put himself in that, then he would have been here on the road today, singing for the people who he claims he loves and the people who love him. So that is my take for today. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful program. I will lock down and keep listening.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Wow. The number to call is 954-529-8030. I'm trying to figure out. I'm being told that there has been a verdict handed down in the Trump trial, in Donald Trump trial, where we're trying to get that also to let you all know. The numbers to call is 954-529-8030. I know some people have been calling and not getting through. You can try back again and see if you can get through. The lines are open. 954-529-8030. That's the numbers to call into the program. What is your views on the VYBZ Kartel case? He has not been granted bail. What is your views? 954-529-8030. That's the number to call into the program on the Make We Talk YouTube channel. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'm being told that there is something wrong with the subscription button. I'm going to see what I can do to fix this because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I am going to do something here now. The numbers to call is 954-529-8030. That's the number to call into the program. What is your views on the verdict handed down by the Supreme Court Adidja Palmer. No, he has been in jail for over 13 years. He went in there in 2011. He has been convicted and has been in there for over 13 years. A lot of people saying the same thing. A lot of people are saying the same thing. I wouldn't even answer that question, you know. A lot of people have been saying the same thing, that the DPP has messed up the case. Why you want to know if I am whatever, son? A lot of people have been saying that the DPP has messed up the case. Well, everybody's entitled to their opinion. You know, it is now 4:53, 3:53 in Jamaica. We have been at it a long while. No one is calling in, so we're gonna say goodbye for now. Until we hear our voice again, I'm gonna work on this channel here because something went on. I want to say thank you all for coming on. Thank you all for coming on. If you did not get the chance to subscribe, come back on and subscribe. I want to fix the channel now for you to subscribe. So remember to like, share, and subscribe. It is Make We Talk, Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Until you hear my voice again for a very exciting program. Thank you all for coming on. Remember to join Isaac Buchanan for Context Matters. His special guest will be opposition leader Mark Golding. Okay, one moment for me, please. We're not going to go anywhere. We're going to do something and come back here. We're going to get the verdict for Donald Trump. Just a moment, please. Do not go anywhere. Oh, Lordy.
Break the silence. Break the silence. End the violence. In Jamaica's heart, where dreams should soar, we're faced with violence knocking at our door. Youth, both perpetrator and victim, caught in its snare, a cycle of despair, a burden hard to bear. But in their hearts, a spark ignites. They're not just victims, they are guiding lights. We call on our institutions, a unified stand, to break this cycle hand in hand. JLP and PMP, let's set aside the fray, a bipartisan approach to light our way. Mental health, a crucial part of restoration and healing, and giving our young people a brand new start. Let's invest in our youth, their potential untold, provide them with pathways to break the mold, education, opportunities, a chance to thrive, to rebuild Jamaica, a hope we can revive. Together, we'll arise with youth at the fore for a safer, brighter Jamaica forevermore. Break the silence, end the violence.
Okay, welcome back to the program. We're being told that there will be a verdict handed down in the Donald Trump trial. We're going to bring that to you live also. There will be a verdict handed down in the Donald Trump trial. We're going to bring that to you also. Just one moment, please. We're trying to get the live feed up to you. We're going to bring that live feed to you also. There will be a verdict handed down in the Donald Trump trial. Donald J. Trump, former president of the United States. Okay, here we go. Stand by for this.
Have been able to make that decision based on all of the information at hand. But we'll see what the jury decides here. I'm joined by our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, on the phone. And I just want to say to all of our contributors, we'll have to interrupt the moment we begin to hear what this verdict is on all of these 34 counts. But in the meantime, Dan, for our viewers watching ABC News live coverage here of the verdict in Donald Trump's criminal trial, you and I were on the air last night here, Dan, with those first two requests from the jury, and they were somewhat telling. 4 hours in, a very specific request from those jurors to look back at testimony, to have testimony reread from David Pecker, a former publisher of the National Enquirer, of Michael Cohen, of course, Donald Trump's one-time lawyer and fixer, about, in particular, a meeting allegedly that took place at Trump Tower. All three men involved in that meeting, according to the testimony, in addition to phone calls and other testimony that they requested. But that particular request was somewhat telling. And what could it potentially signal here without getting ahead of ourselves?
Right. So that's exactly what the prosecutors would have wanted them to start with, right? Because from the prosecutor's perspective, this is a scheme that started in 2015. It started at the Trump Tower with a meeting between David Pecker and Michael Cohen and Donald Trump talking about how they would keep an eye out. David Pecker would keep an eye out for negative stories, that he would help pay for them. They would end up, quoting, killing them. Catch and kill was the scheme. But the reason it's important that they asked for that readback is David Pecker was the corroborating witness for Michael Cohen. Right? Again and again, we talked in this case about Michael Cohen's credibility problems. And the prosecution's argument was, yes, he's got credibility problems, but we believe we have corroborated all the key elements of his testimony. And the beginning of that corroboration starts with the 2015 meeting, where David Pecker and Michael Cohen are basically relaying the same account of how this all started. So that was definitely a good sign for prosecutors, that was the beginning of the jury's deliberative process. Again, it was impossible to know exactly what it meant. Did it mean that they were following the prosecution's roadmap? Did it mean that there was some dissent on the jury and they were trying to resolve outstanding issues? We didn't know. We still don't know for certain right now. But based on the speed of the verdict, you've got to believe that at least the prosecutors here are probably encouraged by the fact that a verdict has been reached.
And Dan, you and I, in talking on World News Tonight last night here, talked about the potential possibility that would have signaled some sort of dissent. In addition to those questions, those very specific questions, the second request that came about an hour later, early in the deliberations, was that the jury instructions from the judge be reread to the jury. And this was just hours after he had instructed them on jury instructions to begin with. So when we were talking on the air about the potential for any daylight between some of the jurors, it would appear whatever dissension there might have been clearly has been taken care of over the course of just 2 days. And what does that tell you from covering so many of these cases?
Well, look, this is a unanimous verdict. You needed a unanimous verdict. 11-1 for conviction or 11-1 for acquittal would be a hung jury. But remember, and we talked about this last night, was that New York has a kind of quirky law, interpretation of law, that in most cases, the vast majority of cases, the jurors don't get to bring with them the jury instructions back into the jury room. In most states, in federal court, you give the jurors the jury instructions. They
Dan,
get to
let me
bring
just
them
interrupt
back.
you. Let me interrupt you right there. They didn't get a copy of the jury instructions, which is why they asked for them to be read back. Dan can elaborate on that in a moment. I do want to let the audience know that Judge Juan Merchan back in that courtroom. Of course, no cameras in the court, which you are well aware of from our coverage, weeks now of our coverage. The judge back in that courtroom, set to bring the jury back into the courtroom as well to deliver this verdict. Again, you can't say it enough that this is an historic moment for the country, because we have never witnessed a criminal trial of a former president of the United States. The president, Donald Trump, the former president, in that courtroom too. Our reporters there in the courtroom and in what we call the overflow room, given eyes and ears on the court for us, reporting in that Donald Trump is sitting at the defense table, his arms very tightly crossed. They describe him as stone-faced, nodding, as his attorney whispers into his ear. And as you know, after weeks of coverage, that there is a courtroom where they allow reporters to go in to witness the proceedings for the entire day. Our team has been in there every single day, right there along with the former president. And John Carl, you are one of the correspondents who has spent time in that courtroom. It must be a surreal scene, not only for the jurors who must decide a former president's fate, but for the former president himself. And we heard about this in closing arguments, that not only did the defense make its case, the prosecution make its case directly, aiming their arguments, their closings at the jury, but almost the entire time, the former president looking over at that jury too, studying those jurors' faces. And John, I apologize in advance if I have to interrupt you, but an extraordinary scene over these last several days inside that courtroom.
I mean, David, a scene unlike any we have seen in American history. A former president of the United States, and not just a former president of the United States, but a current candidate for president of the United States, again, sitting just, feet away from the jury that would decide his fate. And he can see perfectly clear their expressions as they're hearing the key witnesses, as they're hearing the key evidence. And when the jury walks in, the entire court must stand up, and the jury walks right in front of Donald Trump and his legal team and the prosecutors on their way to the jury box. And it was interesting. I was in there for 2 very critical days of testimony. Michael Cohen testifying, obviously the central witness in this case. And for the most part, the jurors avoid eye contact with Donald Trump as they pass right in front of him and sit in that jury box.
And John Carl, we've just been told by our reporters who are there in the courtroom today, John, we'll get back to you, that the former president, Donald Trump, did stand as the judge entered that courtroom, fixing his jacket, taking a deep breath in the courtroom for those who can see him, able to witness that. One of our reporters down there on the scene reporting that suddenly there are many more court officers in the room, Secret Service supervisor standing in the back of that room. As you know, any court case here in New York involves a significant amount of security. This is unprecedented. There has been security there every single day of this trial. And many of these officers, when asked previously, when do you get to go home, they are there for the entirety of these days, these proceedings. So even yesterday, for example, after the jurors left for the day, both sides, the defense, the prosecution, had to agree on the kind of testimony that would be reread back to the jurors. Those requests made by that jury, that those officers, everybody in that court responsible for keeping the courtroom safe would stay into the evening, along with the court reporters who would then have to read this testimony back. That's what played out this morning. Court reporters reading back the testimony that had been agreed upon by both sides, the defense and the prosecution. And then the judge, we knew Judge Juan Merchan would ask the jury, do you want all of the jury instructions read back to you or particular instructions? And that was how he was able to zero in, laser in on what it is they were looking for to have read back to them. I want to bring in Aaron Katersky again, live outside the courthouse. Aaron, it's our understanding the judge back in that courtroom, Donald Trump standing as the judge entered the court. What do we know about the jury at this point?
The jury has just entered the courtroom, David, filing right past former President Trump on their way in. Most of the jurors appeared to avoid eye contact as they took their seats in the jury box. The judge is now formally reading into the record.
Stand by, Aaron. Stand by. We are learning right now, Aaron, the foreperson is standing in that courtroom. Let's wait for reporting from inside the courtroom. The control room listening to this very closely. Aaron, you are as well from our team inside the courtroom. And in the overflow, the verdict is now being read. As you can see on the screen here, count 1, guilty. Count 2, the former president found guilty. Count 3, guilty. We await count 4 here. As you can see, the first 3 counts, the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, found guilty of 3 felony counts so far. The foreperson in that courtroom. Counts 4, guilty. Count 5, guilty. Count 6, guilty. As we continue to enter in what we're learning from the courtroom, it's our belief that first 19 counts, I'm being told, the former president has been found guilty of. Counts 20 through 23 found guilty as well. So correct me, control room, all the way through count 23 now found guilty. We are now up to count 26 and count 27 found guilty as well. So again, I'm going to pause here. He's been found guilty 31 counts now of guilty as we wait for the graphic to catch up to the reporting coming from the courthouse. Count 33 and counts 34 coming in right now. Guilty on all counts. This jury in New York City, a jury of his peers, finding the former president guilty on every single felony count brought against him by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Aaron Katersky outside the courthouse. Let's go to you for first reaction.
An incredible verdict on this day in May, late May. The former president of the United States convicted as charged. 34 counts of falsifying business records. And David, as the crowd outside this courthouse found out, a big cheer went up from opponents of the former president who had been massing in the park across the street from the courthouse. Just a whooping cheer, and they continue to make a lot of noise. There have been supporters of the former president here as well. It looks like many of them are hanging in there, but are remaining silent as the former president has been convicted on all 34 counts of falsifying business records, meaning, David, the jury believed the Manhattan District Attorney's theory of the case that the former president falsified these records to cover up a conspiracy to corrupt the 2016 election by hiding lewd stories from his past. David?
Aaron, as we know from the instructions from the judge in this case, Juan Merchan, telling that jury that they could not convict solely on the testimony of Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's longtime former fixer, friend, and attorney, that there must be corroborating evidence in this case that they also believe in coming up with any sort of verdict. I glean from that then in the discussions within that jury room, and we will learn more in the days ahead, that they then pointed to other evidence, and we know about the request that they look at testimony from David Pecker, for example, to be reread back to them this morning, that is the kind of corroborating evidence that they must have leaned in on to come up with 34 guilty findings on every count here. The former president found guilty as we're on the air this afternoon. Aaron, again, testimony from David Pecker and other evidence presented by the prosecution, they must have leaned on not solely the testimony of Michael Cohen here.
They were told they couldn't rely solely on Michael Cohen because he was an accomplice in the alleged, or now found, scheme to corrupt the 2016 election. And so they did need corroborating evidence and testimony, and they may have found it in the testimony of David Pecker, because one of the things they asked to hear again today was how both men described a meeting in August of 2015, 2 months after Donald Trump had announced his candidacy, when prosecutors said this conspiracy was hatched. David Pecker at the National Enquirer would buy and bury unflattering stories. He said he agreed to be the eyes and ears of the Trump campaign, and prosecutors said it amounted to a campaign finance violation. And Michael Cohen described the meeting very much the same way, saying that he recalled Pecker telling Trump he would be the eyes and ears of the Trump campaign. Perhaps that was the corroborating evidence and testimony that the jury needed, David. They also wanted to make sure they understood the judge's instructions of how to find out how to convict somebody of falsification of business records. And the judge told them that even if Trump didn't personally falsify the records, that he could be found guilty if he caused other people, like an accounting department at the Trump Organization or Michael Cohen or someone else, to falsify those records on his behalf.
All right, Aaron Katersky, stay with us here. Aaron Katersky, who has covered every day of this trial for us outside the courthouse there. Obviously, we also have a team inside court, both in the courtroom and in this overflow room. And I just want to bring everyone at home watching our ABC News Live coverage here of an historic day here. The former President Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 counts in the hush money case that involved Stormy Daniels in the lead up to the 2016 election. Found guilty again on all counts by a jury of his peers. Again, we know the makeup of this jury come from a cross-section of life in this country. 2 attorneys among that jury pool. It's been said in other cases along the way that the prosecution doesn't always like having lawyers sitting in that jury box, but in this case, both sides agreed to those 2 jurors in particular, lawyers who perhaps, as we'll find out in the days to come, might have helped explain some of the very detailed jury instructions from Judge Juan Merchan. Again, the former president you see there on the screen found guilty on all counts. Some of the color coming in from the courtroom from our team. The former president, Donald Trump, watching very closely as the jury was polled. They all replied yes when asked if this was their verdict. The district attorney himself, Alvin Bragg, stern-faced in the courtroom. Todd Blanche was the one who asked to poll the jury. Of course, that is the lead defense attorney in this case for Donald Trump. Donald Trump watching again as they were being polled, looking over at the jury as each one of them was individually polled on the verdict. One of our reporters describing the former president as slumped over in his chair, slumped somewhat, looking at the jury as they delivered the verdict, adjusting his head each time to get a look at each of the jurors as, again, they were polled individually. So again, just describing it, it's obviously the limitations of the court system here in New York, no cameras in court. But as we know, we've described to you what would happen. The judge would enter that courtroom. Donald Trump would stand along with others in that courtroom. The jury then re-entering, the 4-person standing, saying we do have a verdict. The judge asking the 4-person what that verdict would be. And then we watched even the screen here, the graphics could not keep up with the speed at which the verdict was delivered. 34 counts, all 34 of them, the former president found guilty in this hush money case. I want to bring in Dan Abrams with us just as we came on the air, now with me here in the studio. And Dan, you and I have talked, there were all sorts of plausible scenarios here, what the jury could decide, perhaps guilty on some counts, not guilty on others. Obviously, the chance of a mistrial or a hung jury, it would take just 1 juror for that scenario. That's not what played out this afternoon. To have 34 counts and to have a jury find over the course of 2 days the former president guilty on all 34 counts, what does this say to you?
So let's be clear. If there had been a split verdict, if there'd been convictions on, let's say, 9, just the ones, for example, where Donald Trump had signed the checks, it would have been unlikely, unusual. Most people watching this case expected either there's going to be an acquittal, there'll be a hung jury, or they'll be guilty on all charges. It would have been surprising if the jurors had split the verdicts, because it's really all basically the same set of facts. It's just a question of which ledger and which check. So either you believe it or you don't. And so the fact that it's 34, we have to be careful here, right? Let's not overstate what that means. Because, for example, when it comes to sentencing, it's not as if the sentence is going to involve 34 counts where each count ends up being served consecutively. There is almost no doubt that whatever sentence happens here, the sentence will be concurrent, meaning all of it will be served at the same time for the 34. So in effect,
talk about a sentence. Yeah. Let me stop you right there, because viewers at home are going to ask immediately, what does this mean? Could the former president be sentenced to potential time behind bars? We know there is the potential for that, though extremely unlikely for a first-time offender, correct?
I think it is unlikely. This is the lowest level felony in the state of New York. We talk about misdemeanors versus felonies, but there's also different levels of felony. This is a Class E felony, the lowest kind. Donald Trump has never been convicted of a crime before. I think as a result, it is unlikely, not impossible, that he would be sentenced to prison time in connection with this case. There are other options, right? There is probation. I think the other potential option could be home confinement. Can you imagine that? And in an effort, if it were to happen before the election, someone who wants to be out on the campaign trail. Again, I think any serving of a sentence, though, very unlikely to happen before the election. A number of things will happen first. First, he'll do an interview with the probation department. That is typical in any case. You have a meeting where you talk to he's going to have this meeting with a probation officer, because the probation department then recommends what sentence they think the person ought to get. And then number two is a sentencing happen weeks, months ahead. There's going to be appeals in this case, et cetera. So I think that the actual serving of the sentence, whatever it is probably some time away.
Sometime away, Judge Juan Merchan will take into account whatever the probation officer suggests after this meeting that you say will take place, regardless of whether you're sitting across from somebody who does what you and I do, or somebody who works in sort of any sector here in New York City and beyond. But this is the former president of the United States who will also have to sit across from this probation officer. How soon would we then hear from Judge Juan Merchan what the sentence will be?
So I think that we're going to see when the sentencing date is set, right? So we're watching some people.
We are watching the courthouse very closely. Donald Trump was expected to be able to leave the courtroom today. Of course, as Dan mentioned, the sentencing will not come for many weeks here. Not expected, certainly. We are expecting the former president to leave the courthouse. Have we seen him in front of the camera yet? We have not seen him yet, as we know that he generally addresses reporters when he comes out of the courtroom. There's no promise here that he will today. Sentencing is set for early July. July 11th is what we've been told. Judge Juan Merchan will deliver the sentence on July 11th, which is obviously a little more than a month from now. There is no bail. He will leave court today, a free man for now, certainly. And as you heard Dan report there, and legal analysts across the board have said that jail time in this case, extremely, extremely unlikely. But obviously it leads to some immediate questions right away when you're talking about the presumptive Republican nominee in the race for the White House. Does it change the race? At least right now, it doesn't. He can continue to run for president regardless of this conviction on 34 felony counts today. Some have asked, will Donald Trump be able to vote? I had been doing some reading on that because he now has residency in Florida. In the state of Florida, Dan, they often defer to where the case was tried. Is that not correct?
Correct.
So in New York, they allow certain felons to vote of certain categories, right? So it's my understanding that Donald Trump would potentially be able to vote. But let's watch the former president expected to address the cameras. Let's listen.
Hey, we're not going to jail. This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA, and the whole thing, we didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble. But this was a rigged decision right from day one with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Why should others go for a convicted felon?
Todd Blanche at the president's side. Todd Blanche, the defense attorney, the president sitting around, not taking any questions. Former President Donald Trump, a short time after listening to the foreperson deliver the guilty verdict on all 34 counts. Todd Blanche then asking each juror to be polled. Each juror then saying that they agreed with the finding. This was unanimous. All 34 counts found guilty. The former president moments ago saying this is a disgrace. This was a rigged trial, a rigged decision, and immediately turning to the race for president, saying the real verdict will come on November 5th from the American people. He went on to say, I'm a very innocent man, and again, called the whole process rigged. John Karl, our chief Washington correspondent. John, not surprising here that there would be an immediate pivot now to November.
No, and not surprising at all. And Donald Trump will do what he's done when he was indicted in this case and in 3 other cases, which is say that this is a politically charged effort to hurt his campaign for president. The question is, Donald Trump is now a convicted felon. Will that affect how voters will view him? And we have seen, David, a lot of polling, including one of our ABC News polls just in the past month, that suggests that upwards of 20% of people who have said that they plan to vote for Donald Trump for president would reconsider whether or not they would vote for him if he were in fact convicted of a felony. So the question is, now that he has been convicted of a felony by a duly charged jury, will those voters who have been solidly for him now reconsider whether or not they still want to vote for Donald Trump to be president of the United States again, now that he is a convicted felon? Again, the polling suggests that at least a significant percentage, roughly 1/5 of those voters, will reconsider that. Now that it's out there, we'll see.
John, stick with us here. We want to go full to this WABC picture from our station here in New York City, Channel 7, with live pictures over the courthouse here in Lower Manhattan. Donald Trump, the former president, obviously expected to leave the courthouse. Significant security, not both because it's the New York State criminal court, but also Secret Service, and they had been prepared for any possibility here. Though he leaves today, obviously a free man. We know that the sentencing will be July 11th, which I believe is 4 days before the start of the Republican National Convention. John Karl hits at a very important point politically, and which is the central question of whether or not this changes the dynamic in the race for president in this country. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here on that, but as you know, we've been reporting for many weeks now, this race, even though we are still very early on, is a very close race in this country. They are within a point or two of one another. President Biden and former President Trump, as the country, takes a deep breath and prepares itself for a rematch. The polling consistently shows that the American people did not want these two to play this out all over again in front of the country, but that is where we're headed. And now the question, as John Karl brings up, is whether or not this shifts the dynamic at all. Of course, some political pundits will say this was sort of baked in, that Donald Trump supporters had been bracing for anything here, that it won't change the dynamic at all, if much at all, for those who are loyal Donald Trump supporters. And the question, though, given how tight the race is, this is going to be a presidential race. Most observers say that will be decided at the margins. It's very, very close. So even if it changes the minds of people in the very middle, independent voters who don't like their choices, for example, that's going to be something that is really studied in the days and weeks ahead, and how the political arguments might shift. We heard from Donald Trump here moments ago that he immediately is pivoting to the November election, saying that that is when the true verdict will be delivered in this country, that verdict by the American people when they vote in this presidential race. Mary Bruce, our chief White House correspondent, obviously covering any reaction from the White House, any reaction from President Biden. Has the Biden campaign engaged at all on the news just moments ago that the former president, for the first time in history, has been found guilty on 34 felony counts?
David, we are still awaiting any kind of official response from the campaign, though our team has heard that there were cheers inside the Biden headquarters in Wilmington as the verdict was read. Look, President Biden has been very careful in the last weeks not to comment on this trial. That, I have been told, will now change now that we have a verdict. Obviously, these guilty verdicts are a political gift to Democrats, a political gift to the president. He is now running against a conviction. American people. The Biden team is very well aware of former President Trump's argument, as we just heard.
Sorry, we also have some news coming out of Kingston, Jamaica. We have some news coming out of Kingston, Jamaica at the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston. As you know, VYBZ Kartel has not been granted bail. But we have some other news coming out of Kingston, Jamaica, out of the Supreme Court. Out of the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston. Bear with us, please. We're trying to get you the video. This has been a long, long day on the Make We Talk program. We have some news coming out of Kingston, Jamaica. Bear with us, please. We're trying to get everything up on the site here for you all to see. Bear with us, please. There you have it. We're going to play the video for you now.
What about him? What were you expecting to happen today?
There you have it. Jamaicans from all walks of life gathered in downtown Kingston at the Supreme Court chanting "Free World Boss! Free World Boss!"
What about him? What were you expecting to happen today?
Wow. Jamaicans are saying "Free World Boss! Free World Boss! Free World Boss!" But you know, that wasn't the case. That was not the case. That was not the case. We're going to wrap up our news clipping today. We're going to close with this. This is Make We Talk breaking news. A news just coming into us. News just coming into us. Former U.S. President Donald J. Trump, Donald John Trump, has been found guilty on all 34 counts of criminal hush money scheme. That's Donald Trump has been found guilty on all 34 counts of fraud. U.S. President Donald Trump has been found guilty on all 34 counts of fraud. In Jamaica, VYBZ Kartel, Adidja Palmer, aka VYBZ Kartel, has not been granted bail. Let us read that again for you. An appeal seeking to release VYBZ Kartel on his 3 accused was denied in the Supreme Court this afternoon. That's news just coming into our news center. Well, it happened before that an application seeking to release of VYBZ Kartel and his 3 co-accused was denied in the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston. His lawyer, Isaac Buchanan, filed the appeal. Today, Judge Thomas has denied the appeal. Thus, Judge Thomas has denied the appeal for VYBZ Kartel to be freed. And out of the United States, former U.S. President Donald Trump has been found guilty on all 34 counts of fraud. I am Jeffrey Tavares saying thank you all very much for watching a long extended version of the Make We Talk program. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. May God bless you, and may God bless Jamaica land we love. Have a great evening, everyone. And remember to go over to Context Matters with Isaac Buchanan as he's interviewing opposition leader Mark Jefferson Golden. Have a great evening, everyone.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.